going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. What's going on, Phoenix? Unknown, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you guys tuning in. A little bit of a late Friday stream over here at Flight Sim Gaming. Did not stream this afternoon. My children did not have school today, so I had to be a responsible parent and watch them all day, which was great. You know, my kids are great, very easy. They're getting older now. Nightmare Edits, hello. Appreciate you tuning in. So we've decided to do a evening stream instead. What's going on? Good pass today. I got fight and wrist pain. I don't know what that means. Jesus Perez, hello. Appreciate everybody tuning in. But yes, a little evening stream here. Gonna be a short one. We are doing 2 legs, by the way. We are flying. We're down in Spain. Right now we're on the ground in Menorca. We're headed out to Valencia. And then we're going to quickly turn around Valencia over to Barcelona. That's a railroad flight flown by Nostra Air. I think it's Nostra Air, right? If I'm not mistaken. Iberia Regional in the CRJX, the CRJ 1000. Railroad flight flown by them. It's kind of hard to find some flights here in CRJ in the CRJX, only because the scenery that we have for the sim. So I really didn't want to purchase the Latin VFR Madrid airport, to be honest with you. Didn't want to buy it, even though I think Madrid is probably one of their main hubs. Didn't want to purchase it. I did have a couple other sceneries in mind, so we're going to test them out. But yeah, back in the CRJ. And as you can see in the title, it's the Better Aerosoft aircraft. Yes, if you're in the Flight Sim community, you guys know that the A330 just got released this week, and from the looks of it, it looks like shit. So, you know, not that this aircraft is much better. Actually, you know what? If you're comparing to the Aerosoft A330, it is that much better. But this aircraft, there hasn't been an update for 3 years. So it's, you know, it's still buggy in some areas of the, you know, of the aircraft. I don't like how the flight plans doesn't depict proper curves in the flight plan. So that's sort of the only real issue that I have with the aircraft. Other than that, you know, it flies. It gets you from point A to point B. It's the better regional jet. You know what I mean? There's Flight Sim Studios, the E-Jets, and then there's this. So this is the better aircraft. But anyways, ladies and gents, we're kicking off the live stream 15 minutes early. Let's jump inside the aircraft. Let's get this thing all ready to rock and roll. Looks like we picked up 2 subs already on the live stream. Appreciate you guys. Jump inside the aircraft at its cold and dark state, ladies and gents. So we're gonna come over here to our EFB, and let's come over to aircraft. Let's go ahead and connect the ground power, and we'll come back upstairs. Battery master switch will come on, and AC is going to be in use. Nav lights coming on. Continue on down here. Hydraulic 3A is going to come on, and then we're going to put our AC on. We're going to get our windshield heats over to low. We're going to arm the emergency lights, the emergency exit lights, and seatbelt lights, and no smoking can come on. Very straightforward. Been a long time since I've been in this aircraft. It's probably been about 8 months. The last time I was in this aircraft was when I did a video. I think we were flying out in Western Canada. So
boarding request. It's
been that long. Not really an aircraft that a lot of streamers are flying at the moment. I mean, I guess right now a lot of the streamers are flying the iFly Max 8. I don't have access to that, so we'll do things a little bit differently. I'm planning to do a couple CRJ flights over the course of the weekend, so this isn't going to be the only one. We're going to be flying up in Northern Europe as well.
Crew bus is coming.
We're flying up in, I believe we're going to be flying out in Sweden. And I have another flight plan. I just don't remember where I'm going. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this McDo all set up. This is a pretty good McDo. It's a Collins McDo. It's the actual one replicated in the aircraft. And by the way, Dan, if you're tuning into this, my buddy Dan flies these for a living. So if you ever see my videos, whatever, don't forget to hesitate. Shoot a comment down below. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, man. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Pause in it. First things first, let's go ahead. Airport. We are in the ground in Menorca. We'll take the FMS pause. We'll set the pause. Beautiful. Come over to the flight plan tab here.
Starting.
Menorca over to Valencia. And today's call sign is Nostra Air 8441. Plug that in. We'll execute that beautifully. From there, come over to the departure and arrival tab. Let me have a look at SimBrief. We're departing off of runway 19 at the moment, and it's on the EPAM to Delta departure. EPAM to Delta out of runway 19. And we'll execute that. Let me just, I've set my flight plan. Yeah, the winds are 160 at 3, so we are still good for that. Come back over we'll come back over to the departure and arrival index, and we're going to set our arrival coming in to Valencia, and we are expecting the ILS 30 approach, but it's on the SOAP to Echo arrival. The SOAP to Echo for the ILS 30 approach, and let me just double check our transition from that. I believe we're going to take it from Mulet, and we will, and we'll execute that. And our flight plan should look relatively good. Now, this aircraft, there's the departure coming out of Menorca is kind of weird. Doesn't matter what departure you get, there's this weird arc thing that's happening here, and it just doesn't depict a pretty good representation on the FD here. Not on the FD, on the DFD, sorry. But, you know, we'll look at our flight plan, and we'll make sure that everything is all set up and ready to go. Clear some discons. And I've already done a couple practice flights, so I know we shouldn't have any issues. It's Silence. What game is this? Microsoft Flight Simulator. Appreciate you tuning in, Jacob Stewart. I liked and sub. Shout out me, please, in your next video. Jacob Stewart, appreciate you. Thank you for subbing to the channel. Nothing popped up yet. I'm not sure why, but thank you. I appreciate that. We'll continue on down here. Come over to the Perf Init tab here. Let's go ahead and plug in all of this information. I think we're cruising up to 30,000 feet, flight level 300. So we're going to go ahead and plug in our cruise, flight level 300. We're cruising up a little bit high. And if we come over to the EFB, come over to the Performance tab, change to 0 fuel weight, and let's plug in some numbers here. So we got an estimated 0 fuel weight of 34,825 kilograms. And fuel, we got 3,521. So we'll go 3521. We'll enter that. Beautiful. Payload, as you can see, almost 10,000 kilos, which we're about 1,000 kilos off. That's okay, and fuel looks like it's okay. So we're going to set payload in simulator. Click these a couple times if you're, if you're into the simulator and you're learning how to fly this aircraft. Click this a couple times for this to get programmed. But we are flying in the evening, so I don't know why I don't have any lights up here. And we got to go ahead and get our IRS all good to go. Beautiful. That should have been step 2. After turning the battery switches on, we should have had that plugged in. Sam Hatcher, remember me. I don't know what that means, but... Oh, yes, I do, actually. You were in my last live stream. I apologize. What's going on, Sam Hatcher? How are you? Beautiful. There's our weights. We're going to execute that. Fantastic. Come over to the VNAV setup here. We're going to plug in some transitions here. Transition is 6,000 feet. In Spain. And I say 6,000 feet. Let me just triple check. Trans is 6,000 feet. Yes. Beauty. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. I'm pretty sure everything's all set up here. We don't have to worry about anything else. So we have our runway origin there. Everything's looking good. From the EPAM to Delta departure. And we'll continue to set up the rest of the aircraft. So, I'm a good guy. I can't forget from time to time. I can forget. Let me see. Do we have anything going on VATSIM at the moment? No controllers on VATSIM at the moment. Let's not worry. What do you mean, where am I? In the simulator? We're sitting on the ground in Menorca. That's where we are. We're in Menorca. We're flying some Spanish routes here. Wanted to get out to CRJ. Been a little bit, some time since we've be flown out in this aircraft, so I figured, you know what? Let's get out in the CRJ. Flight director's coming on. Let's plug in some info here. So, we're going to set all of our V speeds. It's a one-click button, very simple. And there's our V speeds. So our V speeds are here. We're going to be cruising up, I want to say it's 6,000 feet. No, we don't have anything on the charts. So we're going to go unrestricted. We're going up to 30,000. Beautiful. We're departing off of runway 19. So let me get my heading here of 187. Runway heading 187. And we're going to plug in our altimeters of 1016. 1016. There we go. We got our speed, altitude, altimeter, and we have our heading all plugged in. Beautiful.
Passengers bus is coming.
Arm the reversers, because that's what we have to do. And we'll let the aircraft continue with the boarding process. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and turn some sounds down. Open up our charts, have a look at the departure. And again, it's kind of weird. This aircraft doesn't fly it that well. I'll do my best to fly what we need to fly. It's going to be, we're on the EPAMA to Delta departure coming out of runway 19. It's going to be runway heading for about, looks like 7 miles. And then we're going to start a weird right turn towards Medic. The winds currently are 160 at 3, not too gusty. I like that. Temperature 18 degrees, altimeter 1016.
Passengers boarding starting.
All good, all straightforward, beautiful. She's not walking. There we go. Looks like she's walking now. Now, it's kind of weird. The aircraft with GSX, I don't know if it's a GSX thing, it loads the passengers, and then it's going to load up the baggage. So we're probably going to be down here for another 10 minutes of boarding time here. All is good, though. Looks like we got all of our passengers boarded up. Somebody on VATSIM there. Appreciate that. Come upstairs here. Let's get our fuel pumps on. Beautiful. We don't need to worry about the air conditioning. We're going to go ahead and start up the APU. Is that somebody trolling in the chat? She's probably going to disconnect from the server. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Probably going to disconnect from the server. Beauty. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Who's dying exactly? I don't know. It's sometimes you get some fucking children that are fucking around on the network. And that's a good way to get banned, just an FYI. So, that's a very good way of getting banned. All right, APU doors open. APU is 100%. Let's come down here, come back to aircraft. Let's go ahead and remove the GPU. The wheel chocks will move. We'll close the passenger door. Fuel pumps are on.
Captain, the cabin is secure.
Packs are coming on. And we're waiting for the baggage to get loaded up here. It's going to be a little bit. Set our trims now, 7.8. Beauty. I have no idea who's dying, man. It's kind of hard to get, you know, ATC out here in the evening time. It's about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's, you know, probably midnight out in Spain, right? So not a lot of people, not a lot of traffic. But yes, 2 legs today, ladies and gents. We're doing 2 legs. First leg is about, let me see here, I think it's like 45 minutes, and the second leg is about 33 minutes. So a couple short flights. We're going to be cruising up to, I think, 30,000 feet. It's probably the highest we're going to get to. Going out to Barcelona. I think it's about maybe 20,000 feet. Doesn't look like this wheel is on the ground. Interesting. And don't forget, ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Greatly appreciate that. This aircraft flies very nice too. Gotta say. Once you get this thing trimmed out, it's good to go. You know, I almost forgot, you know, why I sort of stopped flying it. But it's a little sensitive, you know, on rotation. It's a little sensitive. You gotta dumb down the sensitivity settings. Even, you know, with the rudder inputs, it's an Aerosoft product. They've been talking about updating this aircraft for God knows how long, and they haven't done it. It hasn't been updated, if I'm not mistaken, since 2021. So with that, with the A330 a dying breed, they should probably, you know, refocus on CRJ, because it's not a bad aircraft. At the time too, when this aircraft came out, it probably had the best McDo at the time. It's not the greatest. I don't know if it does any holds. It does some fixes. Can't really figure out if the fixes are, you know, if they're working correctly or not. Random Flights, hello, appreciate you tuning in. But, you know, this aircraft has you know, there's a lot that needs to be fixed with this aircraft for sure. It would be pretty cool, though, if I can get my buddy to come do a video with me, teach me how to fly this fucking thing. That would be sick. I know he's busy. I would never bother him for that, though. Get all this shit on. Beautiful. We'll throw our beacon light on, even though we're not ready. And 67% baggage. Looks like we got one more trolley cart. And we should be good for the good old send-off. Gonna be doing another evening stream tomorrow. What do I have planned here? I'm just double checking my notes. Oh, we're gonna be flying. I believe we're gonna be flying Scandinavian. Good Canadian airplane. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Not a lot of them in existence anymore. Not a lot of operators flying them. You know. Definitely not the CRJX. CRJ 900 is probably the most common, in the 700. A lot of flights you can do out in North America with this aircraft. But, yeah, tomorrow we're going to be flying Copenhagen up to, where did I say we're going? Trondheim? Am I saying that correctly? Back to Copenhagen. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, Random Flights to see. This is a lost... I guess it's one of those birds that a lot of us have hung up on the shelf. I've kind of forgotten about this aircraft. Definitely a better aircraft to fly at the moment than that Flight Sim Studio E-Jets. And, you know, for those of you who aren't new to the channel, you guys know I fly the shit out of the Flight Sim Studio E-Jets. But something's going on with the aircraft. It just slams down on its landing gear. Logan Air, Scotland. Logan Air flies CRJs, or they fly ATRs? I thought they flew ATRs. I think we're all loaded up here. Just waiting for the go-ahead before I go ahead and close everything up here. %. Beauty. Close up everything. And last but not least, let's go ahead and make sure everything is all ready for ready. Beautiful. Go up to GSX. Let's go ahead and prepare for push. You know what? The ATR just got an update too. They just got an update. I think it was today. A little nervous to fly it. But, should probably... Another aircraft that we should be getting into.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I'm gonna just go through my checklist here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Restart. Yep. Stabilizer trim, yaw dampener, mock trim. Everything looks like it's all set to go. Trying to follow a checklist here, ladies and gents. This is, it's, like I said, it's been an aircraft that I've put up on the shelf. So, trying to keep things, you know, as close to real world as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Looking here.
By the way, if anybody's flying that ATR since the update, let me know. Let me know how it is. I'm curious. Curious to know if it's any good. We're going to use the autosave quick edit pushback. I'm just going straight back. Marker brake coming off. Beautiful. Hydraulics are on. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead. Engine number 2. We're going to wait for a 20% N2 before we go ahead and bring in some fuel here. Kind of some weird engine views here. Don't mind that glitching there inside the turbine. That's just the frame gen mod does that. Also, I gotta say, the Boris sound mod for this aircraft, bellissimo. I don't have it, by the way. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Engine 1,
20%
20% N2.
of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and
It's
your
got
seats
some,
in the upright position. In case of a drop
some announcements. I don't mind it.
From the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing, you will be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head.
So we're going to be coming out here.
To remind you that you should turn off all electronic
Taxi out.
devices.
On out.
Thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Pretty straightforward. Two good engines. Come back upstairs here. Gen 1, Gen 2 over to auto. X-Flow, auto ride, override is on manual. Bleed flow, auto. APU start, stop. Let's go ahead and shut that off. And the power fuel is off. Air conditioning. We've got the packs are on. What else do we need to do here? Probes got to come on. Beautiful. We'll keep our windshield heat set to low. I don't think I need to turn them up. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. And we're gonna go ahead. Taxi lights coming on. Go ahead and get some flaps out. Looks like we're good to go. So we're gonna get taxi clearance, I guess, received. Flaps are set. Flaps 8. Flaps 8 departure. Takeoff trim. Let's go ahead back to the performance tab here. We want a takeoff trim of 7.8. And we have 7.8. Flight controls. Free and clear. All good to go. Taxi light, park and brake. Everything looks good to go. Just double check we got our thrust reversers are set. Park and brake coming off. Let's get it. Off to the left here, ladies and gents. Have a look here. We're just going to taxi apron. We're going to come out over to Tango. Make it right on Tango. Come out somewhere over here. Part on out. Pretty straightforward. Double check. QNH 1016. 1016 is set. And we'll click this little button here. Should be getting a nice sunset arrival coming into Barcelona. So, if I recall, throttle's up 50%, and we're going to go Toga. Then it's V1 rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear going up. And then I believe we're going to hit the speed button. It's like a managed speed mode. And then throttles are going to go over to climb. And then I believe I'm going to select nav. And then we'll start bugging up, flaps up. And if you're just tuning in, ladies and gents, don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for more flight sim gaming content. We're not coming back to Menorca, like I said. We're just going out to short little flight out to Valencia. Valencia over to Barcelona. MK Studio Barcelona, by the way. I believe Valencia and even this airport. No, wait, this airport is done by Any Builds, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. I got scenery description down below in the description. A little bit of stuttering coming into Valencia. I don't understand why. And every time I land in Barcelona, I'm coming in on, I think it's a 2-4 runways. Massive stutter. Massive stutter. I'm sure we'll get it. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're reporting. We'll get that all up. Strobe lights, logo lights coming on. Buttes, ladies and gents. Buttes. Let's get ourselves lined up. It's a long-ass aircraft, okay? Long-ass aircraft. So we'll make sure we get as centered as possible. Beauty. Enjoy the departure, ladies and gents. Chrono coming on. Make sure we got our lights on. Bam, 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 bam. Everything looks legit. Throttle's going up. 50%. Let's get it, friends. Toga set. There are no callouts in this aircraft. Under knots checked. And V1 and rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear going up. And we're going to go nav. And we'll go flaps 1. Start pitching it down. Beauty. Flaps clean. Trimming this bird out, ladies and gents. Go ahead, start that. Start that right turn. Very hard to see the flight directors, but we got it. Standard pressure is set. 250 on the speed. And climb detents in. Should have did that. And let's call autopilot right there. Bring you back up top. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. There we go. Back on track now. Beautiful departure coming out of Spanish Islands here. Make sure the aircraft's doing what the aircraft needs to be doing. Beauty. Not a bad rotation. It's very very sensitive to say the least. Look, looks like the autopilot's trying to find find its way here. Let's go ahead and get the speed up to 90. Come upstairs. Logo lights coming off. Get the rest of our lights off. Yeah, man. Don't worry, the rear-wheeled aircraft doesn't do this. Not bad. Try to butter the landing too, coming into what is the aircraft doing right now, ladies and gents? Here, let me help it out. Done. Beautiful. Short flight, ladies and gents. Once we get up the top of the descent, we're probably going to be cruising up there for about 10 minutes. Sam Hatcher, next stream, Will, you should go to SXM. What is SXM? That's Sault Ste. Marie? Oh no, it's Princess Juliana. You know what? I think I've only flown there one time. This sim's been out for 4 years. You know, it's a beautiful approach coming in. And yeah, Saint Martin or Saint Martin, Princess Juliana. It's a very nice approach. Should consider it. I'm actually going to be getting into. We're going to be doing some Caribbean ops. There's a new scenery coming out. It's down in the French Guiana, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on one sec here. Felix Ibu. French Guiana. Felix Ibu is going to be coming out for Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's actually one scenery out at the moment, but I think it was SLH Sim Design is creating one. I want to do some A319 ops. Air France operates a flight in the Caribbean. They do some island hopping from Felix Cebu, and they go all the way up to Miami. Definitely gonna do something along those lines. Saint Martin would be pretty cool once the Max comes out. Once the Max comes out, we're gonna be doing lots of Caribbean flights. Tons. That's actually one spot I want to go to as well. Yes, sir. I got pretty much every major Caribbean airport you can think of. 2024 can't wait. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. But the Max 8, I'm talking about iFly's Max 8. Not the one that comes with the 2024. By the way, there was a price was revealed for that aircraft as well. I believe it's 70 USD. It's about $100. About $100 CAD. It's kind of shitty, you know, considering 2024 is coming out. It's just the timing is just but you know what, you must have it, so definitely get that one. Definitely getting that one. Like I said, 2024 will probably be majority career mode for a little bit. And then, you know, obviously 2020, there's still some aircraft that are coming out for the simulator. So we're not going to hang it up on the shelf. You know, there's no point. There's no point. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're always going to have 2020 in our back pocket. It's always the plan. A lot of ocean, ladies and gents. A lot of ocean. And I think that's the island. Is that Palma de Mallorca, if I'm not mistaken? Gotta do firefighting in the sim. I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. We'll have to try it out. I think I'm gonna... You know, we focus mainly on flying commercial flights on this channel. I'm gonna open up to the idea of possibly doing some missions and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know about flying helicopters, but, you know, we'll definitely consider it. We'll do like a once a week thing. Maybe on Sundays. You know, Sundays we'll do the afternoon stream, and then maybe in the evening, we'll pick an evening during the week where we'll strictly focus on that kind of stuff. Because I think that stuff's pretty cool. I love watching people do it. I have yet to kind of do it from, you know, myself. Alright, let me come in here. Let me just make sure everything is gonna be going as planned with my flight plan. So we're direct to Mallorca right now. Mallorca. Okay, everything's looking good. Go ahead, I'm going to tune my frequency right now. It's 110.1. 110.1. We have it plugged in. Squawking 2000. Sick. So we are going to be doing, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be landing in the nighttime coming into Barcelona. Barcelona looks really good in the nighttime too. You can actually see the runway. There's runway lights. Fantastic, ladies and gents. Fan-freaking-tastic. You know, the one thing about this aircraft, right now it's climbing nice, because we're kind of in speed intervention mode, or whatever the hell it's called. Once you reach cruising alt, you got to play with the throttles, and I'm not really too sure the percentages. I'm sure in the SOPs for whichever airline you fly for, you can get those values. So we'll generally hover around, I think that's the 86% to maintain 290 on the speed. Here's one of the Spanish islands. And there's cruising alt. Looks like we're leveling off. So, pretty much, we'll wait till we get to 30,000 feet, and then we'll lower the throttles down. By the way, part of our takeoff checklist, we gotta disarm these guys. See, the aircraft wants to run away here, so we'll lower the throttles just a little bit. Just to maintain that speed, you know what I mean? You can see top of descent in 10 minutes, 74 miles. So relatively short flight. We've been flying now for 14 minutes. Get those throttles back just a little bit. Beautiful. Pretty cool airplane too, gotta say. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, living here in Toronto, you know, we're fortunate that we get to see a lot of the 900s. Some 700s. I believe Jazz just retired the 200s. Not flying 200s anymore. Some of their routes were Toronto to Columbus, you know, shit like that. I don't get to see the CRJXs, but I do get to see the 900s, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little aircraft. When I take my kids plane spotting, they call it the baby RJ. Is that the baby RJ? Very nice. And this is, again, this is the Aerosoft CRJ. I think it came out in 2021. And this is a one of the base livers for this jet. Nostra Air. Nostra Air. Iberia Regional, operated by Air Nostra. Air Nostrum, sorry. Air Nostrum. Couple things. You know, we're about 60 miles. What I'm going to go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and we'll set our decision altitude. If I open up my charts and I look at the decision altitude for runway 30, and by the way, the weather, the winds are 270 F4, so slight crosswind. We got 420 on the mins. .420 on the mins. That's pretty much it. You know, about 50 miles out, we quickly brief ourselves for the arrival coming into Valencia. The winds are 270 at 4. Temperature 18 degrees. Altimeter 1014. Very simple. We're going to be dropping down to I would say about 3,000 feet. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're just tuning in, we're doing 2 legs. We're going to sit down in Valencia. We're going to have a coffee. You know, get the aircraft all boarded back up. And then we're heading out to the bigger city, Barcelona. That's the plan. When I was trying to figure out this flight, I really had to figure out the routes that I was able to fly. Originally, we could have flown from Lisbon. You know, we could have went to Madrid, but I don't know, man. Latin VFR Madrid, I didn't want to buy it. I'll be honest, it's €20. I didn't want to buy it. Here's our top of descent marker there. What I'll do here, we'll come to the fixed tab again. So I don't know how broken this is. I'm really not sure what I got to do. What I typically do is I plug in the airport iCal, and then I put a 10 for distance, and then I come over to page 2, and I do a 5, like I do in all my aircraft. Radial cross. It does its own radial cross. I don't know how to really use it. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. Another beautiful Spanish island down here. You get ever bored while on autopilot? Yeah, you can. I mean, you know, if I got nobody to talk to in the chat, It can get boring. No, but overall, this aircraft is a handful to fly, so you can't really get bored. It doesn't have auto throttle. For those of you who don't know the CRJ, it doesn't have auto throttle. So you got to be on your ones and twos. You can easily lose speed. It's happened to me many times. When I was learning how to fly this aircraft, I'll never forget my first ever flight. I flew into Regina. Yeah, it was Regina up in Saskatchewan. And, on my approach, didn't have my speed properly set. Wasn't paying to my N1 percentages. You start pulling out the flaps, the aircraft, the drag of the aircraft naturally slows the aircraft down. And then, kind of fucked that up. So, yeah, no, in this aircraft, there's lots of things to do, but you can get bored in autopilot. In some cases, you have an app. "31 miles, top of descent." Let's continue to look outside. Just briefing myself here on the arrival coming in. Go ahead, pull it up here on screen. So we are on the Sopit 2 Echo. Arrival coming in from Valencia, Spain. We're going to be coming in from up here. I don't know why we didn't come from down here, but I'll probably vector myself over to Mulet, where we'll capture, I guess, we're going to be on final and capture the glide slope coming down. This is the approach here, so you can see final approach course 296. So this aircraft, you have to tune the localizer, and you have to tune the course as well. So we'll make sure we get that done. 110.1 is our frequency. Minimums are 420. Transition 6,000 feet, and the winds are 270 at 4. Temperature's 18 degrees. Altimeter 1014. Should be textbook. So do you do your own flight planning? No, you don't have to in Microsoft Flight Sim. You have SimBrief that does your own flight planning for you. And, in terms of how do you know where you're landing, how do you know, what runway you need to be on, SimBrief, well, you can go on Flight Radar, you can see where aircraft are currently landing. But for the most part, SimBrief does a pretty good job at picking the runways for you. Make sure we set our landing elevation to 240. What's going on? I've just been approved access to the technical alpha of MSFS 24. Just checking YouTube to see if anyone was streaming live, but there's not. Have you signed up? It's available until Monday morning. I have not signed up, no. I have not signed up. Didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. Didn't even know that was a thing. You're not seeing any of the big streamers do it. I don't, personally don't think anybody's going to be doing that. And I haven't heard anything either. I haven't heard anything, especially on, FS Elite. Heard nothing about that, but if you have access, that's pretty cool, man. I'll click on your channel, and I will definitely tune to you to see what's going on. The only access streamers really had was, I believe they went out to Vegas. That's really all that we've sort of seen from MSFS 2024. And let's go ahead, we'll tune this down. We're going to go 3,000 feet. We're just waiting for the top of the descent marker to come up. We'll get that little snowflake. The snowflake will tell us our vertical speed, and we'll descend on down. 2 miles. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to fly this whole approach here. Probably just going to cut ourselves across, cheat it out a little bit. There we go. Vertical speed looks like at about 2,000 feet per minute. We'll keep down at about 1,800 feet per minute. 1,700 feet per minute. Pull the throttles back. I do use SimBrief too on a mobile app. A game Infinite Flight, really good for iPad. So for Infinite Flight, you have to use SimBrief. What's going on, Phoenix? Appreciate you tuning in. Hope all is well with you, Phoenix. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're on the descent into Valencia. Let's go ahead and make sure, yep, nav frequency is plugged in. Phoenix, I tuned into your YouTube channel, man. I was watching some of your flights. I believe I watched one of your RJ flights. You were flying into Charlottetown, I believe. Pretty cool, man. Pretty good stuff. Ladies and gents, if you are in the chat, go ahead and do check out Phoenix. Upcoming YouTuber, young kid. You can make your own plan, but it's better when you... Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know airways like that, you know what I mean? So... It's just SimBrief. Everything's just so automated and it's so easy. You know what I mean? I just type in my call sign, type in my route, bam. Pulls up some good shit. See the mainland Spain coming in. So we're actually, so like I said, at the beginning of my stream, probably going to have some stutters coming into Valencia. I don't know what that's about. I hope it doesn't crash the sim. And then I also noticed in Barcelona, the same thing. Only when I'm out in Spain. Don't really understand it. Love the look of this airplane. Absolutely love the look of this airplane. Start speeding up there. Let's go ahead and we'll pull the throttles back at about 65%. And you can see here, there is, I guess, some type of VNAV equipped in this aircraft. There's a snowflake there. You gotta, once that snowflake is pretty much straight on that line, you're descending perfectly at the rate at which the aircraft wants you to descend at. So 1,700 feet per minute. There's that blue dot there. Target your vertical speed, roughly around the same. Everything else will fall into place. You know what I mean? And what we're going to do... Probably going to vector myself across here. Go direct mulet. We'll execute. Snowflake is still relatively good. Don't gotta worry. Sometimes it glitches, and on infinite flight, it don't got the runway it aligns. You mean it doesn't, like, calculate the proper runway? Is that what you mean? Yeah, sometimes I notice that with SimBrief too. That's why it's always good, like if you want to keep things sort of real world, just go to Flight Radar 24. You can see where aircraft are actually landing. Get the speed back to about 270 knots here. Are you the only one here, Sam Hatcher? I believe so, man. I got 2 live streams going, Sam. I got YouTube Shorts, as well as my regular live stream. Microsoft Flight Sim is a very small community. There's a lot of people. I lied. It's not a small community, but it's not like Call of Duty. So not a lot of people like to tune in. And I believe too, we also got some of the bigger streamers going live tonight. I believe Mickey Mike went live. He might still be flying. He might not be. Owls is also live too. So if anybody's in the chat, don't ever hesitate to check out Owls and Mickey Mike. 2 good guys. They're always actively in my chat. I would consider them, you know, good friends of the community, to say the least. Passing 15,000 feet. Speed's looking good. Everything's looking good, ladies and gents. Just double check some speed restrictions that I have going on here, and there is absolutely nothing. So below 10,000 feet, we're going to go ahead and slow the aircraft up to 250 knots on the speed. Jesus Perez, hello, hello. Appreciate you tuning in. Is it Jesus or is it Jesus? Hope you're enjoying the live stream. We are on approach coming into Valencia. We're probably about 10 minutes out, I would say. Probably about 10 minutes out. And what do we got for the weather is 280 at 3. almost a headwind. It's Jesus Perez. Okay, Jesus. Appreciate you, Jesus. Start getting the speed back here. Looks like it's picking up Loke. So, what do we have? Final approach 296. Can I change the course like this? No, I actually got to come into here. And course is 303. And we'll plug in nav. Never give up. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Jesus. 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead. Landing lights on. Logo lights coming on. We'll maintain 250. You know, the good thing about this aircraft, slows down on a dime. You know, we're about 25 miles out. So we don't have to worry about speed at the moment. We'll just slow the aircraft down to about 250. Get her down to about 240. Still descending at about 2,000 feet per minute. We're a little below the VNAV profile, but we'll maintain. Do you like to play other games? Actually, I do. I haven't really been, and this channel is only anything flight sim related. So you're not going to see me playing Call of Duty or anything like that. But I was a big Call of Duty gamer. I also like to play Gran Turismo. If you guys know what Gran Turismo is, Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation. I play that one a lot as well. What am I going to do? Let's go ahead. Yeah, I guess we don't really have to worry about nav source right now. Looks like we're... And there's that massive stutter that I was talking to you guys about in Valencia. It'll come back. There we go. Actually, we're looking pretty good. Let's get that speed back down to 210. We're slowing down. We're going to go nav source. Loc 1. There's 6,000 feet. We're going to hit the approach button, and altimeter is 1014. So let's click that. 1014. Beautiful. There's the glide slope coming in. How many subscribers would you want? To be honest with you, you know, I kind of just... And there's Loc 1 right now capturing. I kind of just do this for the sake of doing it. I'm not... There's no goal. You know what I mean? We'll see where it takes me. You know, I hit 1,000 subs. And I was like, holy fuck, I never thought I would hit 1,000 subs. I never thought 1,000 people would be interested in what I'm doing. But, you know. I'll tell you what my goal is not, and it's not to get rich off of this. This is just sort of a hobby. A hobby that I like to do. I don't see the field. There's the field right there. So aircraft is a little off-center on Loc. But that's okay. Coming up on 3,000 feet. So I'm going to whip out the speed brake. I'm going to whip out some flaps. I'm going to brief myself on the missed approach. What do we got to go to? Looks like 5,000 feet. And and we're going to go 190 on the speed. About 10 miles out. Let's get those speed brakes out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have
And we'll go
stopped.
flaps 8. Gear coming down. Still looking good, ladies and gents. Still looking good. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our lights on. Flaps 20. Beautiful. Doing about $170 on the speed. We got to get down to 142. By the way, let's get this up to 5,000. Flaps 30. About 5 miles out. Do you have any kids? I have 2 kids. Flaps 45. Get down 3 green. Flaps 45 is indicated. We're going to maintain that 140. And we're about 1,000 feet. Coming up. Let's go ahead. Get ourselves ready. Trying to butter this landing. 1,000, check. My aircraft. Once you get this aircraft trimmed out, it flies fucking phenomenal.
500.
Let's get back on the paps here.
$400. $300. Minimums.
Continue.
200.
We're looking good.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Come on.
10.
Long landing. First coming out. Maintain center line. Then arm the reversers. $80 knots. Go ahead, vacate here. Got distracted. Didn't arm my reversers. Terrible. Didn't do any checklists. See, this is why you gotta do checklists, ladies and gents. Not bad. We're here. Go ahead, clean up the flaps. We're going to stand 60.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
That was a long landing, ladies and gents. I floated the fucking hell out of that. But, legal. Taxi lights coming on. Logo and strobe lights coming off. Come down here. Transponder over to standby. Reversers disarmed after arming them on the runway. I'll take it though. Not too shabby. Let's go ahead. We'll get that APU going. Sam Hatcher says butter. Yeah, this aircraft butter's nice. Do your kids still go to school? Yeah? Yeah. Kids are young. Sam, I was just gonna say that. Do I look old? I don't think I look that old, do I? I'm only 32 years old. How old do you think my kids are? I look 24? Put another 8 years on that one, buddy. Put another 8 years on that one. Going to stand 60, ladies and gents. It's where the real world aircraft you boarded from. You think I look 17? Not a chance, buddy. I'm getting up there, you know. I've lived to see 30. Not a lot of people get to live to see 30. I do have a career as well. I am I live in Canada, and I'm a licensed automotive service technician. I'm a shop foreman at a Honda dealership. That's what I do primarily. It's actually primarily. It's what I do for a living, essentially. Gate 60. I think the rear wheel aircraft deboarded at stand 58. Sorry, I keep saying gate. Stand 58, I believe. We're going to go to stand 60. There is no stand 58. I got to make it. You know what I mean? You play Minecraft? Nah. Nope, this is pretty much it. And then, like I said, the occasional Gran Turismo. I do a lot of sim racing as well. Is what the reason why I like Gran Turismo. I grew up on Gran Turismo, man. Gran Turismo 1. Fuck, I think I was 8 years old, 9 years old, maybe. Market break coming on. APU is good. Let's go ahead, kill. Go ahead, kill the engines. Probe heat's coming off. We'll get our passenger seatbelt lights off. Let me have a look here. Fuel pumps can come off. Hydraulics can come off. We'll leave hydraulic 3A on. Beacon light can come off. And we'll keep on the APU. Deboard the aircraft.
Deboarding requested.
And then we'll get ourselves set up for flight numero 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you...
On attack. No. I played Gran Turismo well before I got into
Passenger's bus is coming.
working as a mechanic. Now, my goal was always to be a mechanic, right? Like, that's what I wanted to do as a kid. And I do love cars. I do love racing. You know, as I've realized as I gotten older, you know, working on cars was sort of like my passion. It's what I did. You know what I mean? You caught me. I wasn't playing video games. You know, by the time I hit 16, 17 years old, I started working in a shop full-time. So you rarely see me playing video games, maybe the odd Call of Duty, but I really focused on working on cars and trying to craft my skill. Now it's like, you know, fucking over it already. Anyways, ladies and gents, take myself off cam here for a bit. Give me about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. We'll get the aircraft deboarded, and we'll get set up for flight number 2. Catch y'all in a bit.
through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I do, like I do, like
Passengers bus is coming.
So just let go and don't hold back. I've got you, welcome you into my world. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want.
Passengers, the boarding started.
I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I do, like
Do you want to deboard crew?
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back
Let's get back inside and see what we gotta get. What we gotta do to get this thing sort of all ready to rock and roll here. Let's go ahead, clear up some stuff here, get rid of our minimums. We'll come over here. And let's plug in some sim brief information. All right, leg number 2. Valencia up to Barcelona. We are Nostrum Air 48 Whiskey Quebec operating service. It's about a 38-minute flight. What do we got for fuel weight? 35060. We'll enter that, and then we'll come over to our fuel. We're going to plug in 3241, so we'll go 33 on that. Make sure we set all of that. Yeah, come down to the flight plan tab here. So everything pretty much is all set up. We're doing a turnaround here, so we're not really turning around, but you get my point. Leg number 2, Valencia up to Barca. And Nostrum Air 48 Whiskey Quebec. It's our flight number. Execute. Beautiful. Come over to departure. Arrival tab. We're on the SOAP 6 Alpha. Out of runway 30. Execute. Come back over to the arrival info. We're expecting to arrive on 24 right, and it's on the Mate 2 Whiskey. Mate 2 Whiskey for the ILS Zulu 24 right. ILS 24 right Zulu. Beautiful. We're doing vectors. Execute. Lovely. Perf in it. Make sure we got all that plugged in there. Beautiful. And we got to go 7.6 on the trim. All good to go. Flight level 220. Top altitude for today's flight. And we'll just make sure we have our transitions are set. So let's reset everything up in the box here. So 6,000 out of Valencia, 6,000 out of Barcelona. It's safe to say we're all set up here. Still squawking 2,000. Initial climb, I believe, is 6,000 coming out of Valencia. Initial climb clearance, 6,000 feet. Make sure we plug that in. We're going to make sure we get our heading as well. $296 on the heading. Went away. Let me have a look here. 296 on the heading. And we got our speed plugged in. Altimeter is 1014. 1014 is also plugged in. And I didn't stop the chrono. Should have stopped it off the runway. Beautiful. Come upstairs. Looks like everything is pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and reload SimBrief.
From your mouth, holding me tight, saying I'm all yours, but I'm feeling my gut. It doesn't feel right. I see your eyes.
It says I'm late. Oh, I guess you know what? I know why.
Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex.
Go. Request boarding.
Requested.
Nope.
Passengers bus is coming. Passengers boarding starting.
Boarding up again. Jesus Perez, boarding up again. We're headed out leg number 2. Operating service from Valencia up to Barcelona. So once again, passengers are going to board up first. And then luggage or baggage jumps out the aircraft. Let's get used to these checklists, ladies and gents. Kind of fucked up the landing there. Not arming our thrust reverse. So cockpit preparation, all of that looks good. I think we're all pretty much ready to go. Make sure we got our seatbelt, no smoking sign, arm the emergency lights. 1014. Let's get those reversers armed. Pre-start setup. We got our V-speeds plugged in. Heading is aligned. Verify alt restriction. Yes. 6,000 feet. Set V-speeds. Cruise out. Set. Stabilizer trim. Yaw dampener. And mock trim. Bang, 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 bang. All is set, ladies and gents. Beauty. Beauty. Just tuning in and you haven't done so, don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. What's going on, Sam? I'm back as well. Thank you for returning. Leg number 2. Tell all your friends about Flight Sim Gaming if you have not. Whether or not they like aviation. Make sure you spread the word. No, I'm just kidding. Load up the bags and then we're back up in the skies, ladies and gents. Back up in the skies. Picked up another 3 subs here on the day, on the evening. Not bad, not bad. Thank you. Where are you going on your second leg? We're headed out to Barcelona. So pretty much we're headed back out east towards, I guess, where we just came from. It was either Barcelona or Madrid. I didn't purchase the Latin VFR Madrid airport. Just so sick and tired of Latin VFR and their shenanigans. So we decided to opt for Barcelona, MK Studios Barcelona. I've had the scenery for quite some time. Yep. And then we're doing some Scandinavian ops tomorrow, ladies and gents. Tomorrow we'll be on that sim for sure. We're headed out Copenhagen up to Trondheim. Back down to Copenhagen. Kill the music. Get the sounds back up. Looks like performance is still looking good, so it's not like when we do a turnaround in the PMDG 737 where we lose half our frames. It looks like it's holding up pretty good. Let's wait for the bags. And again, this is a really nice detailed airport. I believe it's done by Beautiful Model of the World, or BM World. What's that in there? Is that an RJ in there? Oh, yeah. Is that a 200? I think that's a 200. Nice little airport. Highly detailed. We've got some static aircraft here. Ryanair 737. Ryanair does operate flights out of here. Overall, you know, if you're looking to purchase the scenery, highly, highly recommend. You know? Highly recommend. Almost done, ladies and gents, with the baggage. Almost done. Not sure why this aircraft doesn't load up bags and passengers first. That's sort of new to me. That's sort of new. Typically, you know, every other aircraft does that. Sun's starting to come down too, so this flight's about 35 minutes long. Should get a nice, beautiful, either a sunset. I wouldn't say a sunset arrival now. Probably it's going to be a night arrival. Gorgeous coming into Barcelona, coming off runway 24. If I look at the weather information in Barca, the winds are 330 at 5, so we're going to get a pretty nice crosswind coming in. Right now in Valencia, the winds are 310 at 4, temperature 18, altimeter 1014. Nice and calm. It's how we like it, especially in this aircraft. Very, very sensitive, this aircraft, you know. Pretty much ready to go here. Get that beacon light on. Let's go ahead, and I think we're done. Wait for this to drive off. Beacon lights on, hydraulics are on, fuel pumps are on, pro piece will come on after, packs are on. Okay, we're good to call up. Ground control, waiting for boarding to be completed. There we go. Beautiful. Verify we got trim 7.6. Trim of 7.6.
We are ready for pushback.
Looking good, ladies and gents. Don't forget, follow the checklists. Switch that back over to FMS 1. Lovely.
Looking here.
Wanda Akbar, hello. Appreciate you tuning in. We are getting ready for our departure out to Barcelona. We're on the ground in Valencia. Flying the beautiful CRJ 1000, CRJX. Flown by Air Nordstrom. Iberia Regional. Use autosave, quick edit, push back. Parking brakes coming off. Beautiful. Engine number 2. We'll go ahead, start it, and we'll wait for a 20% N2.
gentlemen,
Engine number 1, let's
pay
go ahead and start it.
attention as we display
Once
the
again,
safety
20%
features of
N2.
the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the
Damn.
cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway
20%.
emergency lights will display to the
Let's go ahead.
exits which are located
Introduce that
here.
fuel, get those throttles up.
In case of an extreme emergency landing, you'll
This
be
one.
instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices.
Basically like this.
Thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Beautiful.
Total disconnecting.
Beautiful.
Removed.
Bypass panel removed.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Beautiful. 2 good engines. We're going to go ahead and open up our checklists here. Gen 1, Gen 2 are both auto. X-Flow auto override is set to manual. Bleed flow is at auto. APU start stop. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn that off. Power fuel, we're going to turn that off. Anti-ice as required. Probes. Probes are probing. Probes are probing. Taxi clearance received. Flaps. Let me get back here. Flaps 8. Taxi lights coming on. What else we got? Takeoff trim 7.6 is set. Flight controls clear and free. For takeoff, make sure those thrust reversers are armed. Beautiful. Alrighty. Market brake coming off. Let's go. Taxiing over to runway 30. One's a 310 at 4. And again, kind of a weird departure coming out. It's one of those arc departures. We'll see how the aircraft flies it. And this flight's about 38 minutes in the air, not too long. We're going to be probably cruising out for maybe about 10 minutes. What's going on, A10 Aviation? Hope all is well with you. Thank you for tuning in. No, no. Thank you. Leg number 2, A10. We're headed out to Barcelona. Wish I could donate to you. It's all good, my man. It's all good. We don't do this for things like that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
As a matter of fact, I got rid of memberships as well.
Cleared for takeoff.
So, yeah, we just strictly like to do this just because, you know what I mean? But I thank you. Highly recommend, though, a couple other channels if you do want to donate. Hey, aren't we all, man, living in 2024? I know what you mean. Times are tough everywhere. It doesn't matter where you live. Times are tough, so thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Looks like we're getting onto the active runway already. Transponder. Make sure we're transponding. Let's get this old girl lined up. Logo lights coming on. Bucket. Wing light coming on. Altimeter 1014 is set and checked. We have V-speed set and checked. Looks like we're all ready. Aviation fuel is rough in this economy. I hear it, man. I hear it. Go ahead, get situated. Fly a 10 aviation. You can fly a 10 aviation. Throttle's going up 40, 50%. And toga. Under knots. Checked. Oh, baby. And V1. And rotate.
Minimums.
Oh yeah? Positive rate. Gear going up. .22 thou. We're climbing. And let's go nav. And we'll keep runway heading. We're going to start that right turn. There we go. And flaps up. .250 on the speed. Keep her going. Stall, stall. Yeah. Not me. Pilot Nick, hello, hello. Appreciate you tuning in, Pilot Nick. Welcome back. You almost got 100 subs. Proud of you, my man. Proud of you. And climb detent is in. Making this turn. Alright, I know the aircraft wants to do some weird shit. So we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Let's see where we are with the flight directors. Close enough. Beautiful. And autopilot coming on. Bring everybody back up top here. Just uploaded a new video. It was like a landing at Frankfurt Vatsim. Come upstairs. Let's clear some stuff here. We'll definitely check out your stuff, and anybody in my chat, be sure to go check out Pilot Nick, ladies and gents. Be sure to go check out Pilot Nick. God damn. Alright, let's go ahead and get clear some discons here. Yes. Beauty. External view. In 1 sec here, Pilot Nick. We'll get some external views going. 10,000 feet. Everything else coming off. Sorry, Pilot Nick. This aircraft is, she's a handful, to say the least. You know what I mean? So, gotta make sure you're always on your ones and twos with this aircraft. If your co-pilot angers you, just fly it into the ground. Don't know about that. I don't know about that. We're not that kind of flight sim channel. But I know some people do. I was watching some guy on YouTube Shorts. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I think he was just like flying 200 feet above. 200 feet above the ground, and he had like 300, 400 people watching. It was insane. Insane. Ladies and gents, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to smash down the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. If you have not, we got 9 likes on YouTube Shorts. 9 likes. Let's push for 10, ladies and gents. Let's push for 10. Aircraft's doing some shit. What are we doing? Alright, we good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Let's go up to the checklists here. What do we got? Gears retracted, flaps retracted, reversers disarmed, thrust and climb detent. Autopilot is on. Taxi lights are off. Landing lights are off. Beautiful. Anti-ice as required. We're cruising, ladies and gents. We're cruising. Let's get out some beautiful wing views here. Holy shart, that is a beauty. It's really good scenery. Aerosoft A330. Pilot Nick, you know this is the better aircraft. Come on. Yeah, this is actually some pretty nice scenery out here. This is Spain. If I'm not mistaken, I think Spain got a little bit of the Asobo touch, you know what I mean? Part of the European update. So the scenery overall is not too shabby. I don't know if YouTube, you know, renders everything as great as I can see it here on my monitor, but she's beautiful out here. She's beauty. What view do you guys want? You want this view? Let's have a look at this view for a bit. Can't really tell, you know, on the YouTube Shorts. But, the craft's taking a dive with the... Gotta go see you. Good luck with the rest of your flight. Thanks, Pilot Nick. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. I'll come say hello on your next live stream. And if I don't, I apologize. A340 or A350? Gotta go with the A350, man. Super modern. I love seeing them when they come to Toronto. I love seeing who's flying them right now. I think Air France. Air France. We see Singapore Airlines here a couple times. Philippine Airlines. I think Cathay flew a couple A350s here. Maybe next weekend, Pilot Nick? No problem, man. Yes, sir. Hell yeah, brother. Not gonna lie, my ass is fucking hurting sitting in this chair right now. Let's go ahead and sync our heading. We're gonna start leveling off. We gotta watch our thrusts. No, speed's gonna start to come back a little bit. Beautiful. Fantastic. You can see the speed starting to take off on us. We're no longer in speed intervention or speed mode, whatever that is. You can see we're leveling off at 22,000 feet. Because we're at top of descent for about, we're at cruise for about 9 minutes or 71 miles. Let's go ahead and configure the rest of the aircraft here. So, we're actually going to clear some of this. Can't clear it, so we'll just type in the next airport ICAO, which is Barcelona. And we're going to go 10 and 5 miles once again. I will be flying, so I'm not going to talk. A10, no worries, my man. What are you flying? What route are you flying? Where are you going? Beautiful. Let's make sure I get, we get all prepped up here on our N1s. Don't want to be bleeding off too much speed. Beautiful views. Oh, you're flying to Newark. Very cool, man. Plug in some ILS frequencies here. What do we got? 109.5. I don't know why this keeps changing. Thank God I'm not flying on any network, because that would fucking piss me off. 109.5. Let's go ahead, plug it in. 109.5 is set. Right now the winds are 320 at 6. Not bad. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Getting a little carried away here with our speed. Let's go ahead and bleed some of that off. Bang of beauty right there, ladies and gents. Look at those views. Look at those views, ladies and gents. Aircraft's hunting. This is the one thing I don't like about this aircraft. It's gonna hunt. It's gonna look for navigation. It's basically what it's doing. Try to keep for about an 80% N1. Lovely. Go ahead, sync our heading once again. Open up our charts. We are going to be descending on the, I think it's the Maddox 2 Whiskey. Arrival coming into Barca. Coming up on top of descent. 3 minutes time. We're going to be descending down to, looks like about 4,000 feet. .4,000 feet. Bugged in. Nice visuals at 22,000 feet. Very nice. Very mountainous terrain out here. And like I said at the beginning of the live stream, we had a stutter. I was anticipating the stutter coming into Valencia, which we got. I'm going to be anticipating the same stutter coming into Barcelona. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not an issue with the computer. It's an issue with the scenery. Anytime I'm out in Spain, I always get these weird stutters. I don't get it. If anybody knows what I can do, let me know down below. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this aircraft will taxi to terminal. Is it terminal 1? Yeah, I think it's terminal 1. I just don't know what stand we're going to be going to. Not important. 10 miles, top of descent, 10 miles. We're going to be continuing some CRJ ops going into the weekend, ladies and gents. Wednesday, there may or may not be a live stream. It is Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, so we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving on Monday. Monday is truly Thanksgiving. Typically, we have our dinner on Sunday, so I'm going to be at my mother's house with the kids and the family. So we are doing a live stream tomorrow night, and then probably going to put off Sunday's live stream, and then definitely Monday. Monday we're planning. We're going to be doing some flights. We're going to be doing at least one more RJ flight. We'll see. I want to look at the new Phoenix. There was a new update today, if I'm not mistaken. Some new A321 engines. Shit, there's top of descent. Vertical speed. We got to go down to about 2,000 feet per minute. Alright, descent checklist. Let's have a look here. FMS landing perf. We already reviewed that. Good approach briefing has been complete. Anti-ice as required. Seatbelt signs are still on. Barrow. We'll wait when we get there. We'll set that. Cabin pressure. Set the landing. It's at 20 feet. What do we got here? Throttle monitor. Set ILS. ILS is set. Let's go ahead and arm our reversers. I think we're good, ladies and gents. Nine likes on the YouTube Shorts live stream. Try to get one more like before the stream ends, ladies and gents. One more like. That'll be 10 likes on the day. We don't really set any like goals here. Flight Sim Gaming. We just like to post some content. That's really what it's about. We'll monitor our speed here. We're doing 290 at the moment. Coming into good old Barcelona. Let's get our overhead lights on. Minimums, what do we got? 215 for 2-4 right, ladies and gents. 215. .220 is set. We'll get that speed down to 250. Let the speed bleed off here. I feel like I just sniffed something into my nose there. Looks like we got to shallow out the descent here. Go to about 1,600 feet per minute. We're going to be vectoring ourselves for final, ladies and gents. And soon enough, you'll be able to see the airport down there. 6,000 feet is transition altitude. There's the airport right there. .280 on the speed. Let's go ahead and start bleeding that speed off. Cut it right to idle. See what happens. Beautiful sunset arrival coming in. Not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Shallow at that descent, 1,200 feet per minute, passing 10,000. Let's go ahead. Landing lights, logo lights. Double check our charts here. I don't think there's any speed restrictions. No. Max 250 at Radix, which we are passing. So looking good. Shallow at that descent again, 1,000 feet per minute. Picking up the Loke. Course 030 is set. So 244 is the final approach course. And it is. So it looks like the aircraft sets the final approach course. I don't know if that's what it does in the real world, but good enough for me. Go ahead, sync that heading. Because we're going to be rocking the heading. See that gorgeous airport off to our left. And again, 6,000 feet is transition. We're going to be setting our altimeters 1014. Set our heading 070. We'll actually do that. We'll track that heading right now. Going down to 4,000 feet. We're actually going to keep descending. I think we want to be at about 2,300 feet. UNH 1014 is set and checked. What's going on, Sam? Just in time for the landing. Currently vectoring ourselves for final. Sending at about 800 feet per minute. We're headed down to 2,300 feet. So we'll start those beautiful vectors. Better be like a butter, like leg one, just don't float. I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. Heading 042, and we'll keep turning that left turn. We'll 360 on the heading. I forgot how much ground effect this aircraft has. You don't even have to really flare it, to be honest with you. Got you, buddy. Got you. Looks like we're coming in a little bit high. Let's see what happens. We got about 1,200 feet to kill. I think we're still going to be okay. Nice little vector coming in here. Let's keep turning. Start leveling off here at 2,300 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please notice the cabin lights have been turned off, as this is a normal procedure for
Approach mode activated. This time we got our reversers armed, so go ahead, flaps 1. Roll the speed back 190. Just to confirm, missed approach alt I think is 3,000. It is 3,000. Beautiful. Localizer should be kicking in. Didn't realize it's so difficult to see with my lighting that I got going on up here. And in the dark, it's might be pretty challenging. There's Loc 1 captured. Keep the speed up. Again, there is no auto throttle. And we overshot Localizer, as usual with this aircraft. One of the things that need to be fixed with this aircraft, obviously, Localizer. I can see glide slope coming in. About 10 miles out. Got our minimums plugged in here. Let's go ahead and sync our heading. Once glide slope captures, approach altitude is going to be 3,000 feet. And I'll go ahead and I'll set my V speeds now. It's always 140 in this aircraft. And we're going to go flaps 8. They're coming down. Laps 20. Come upstairs. Get the rest of our lights on. Thousand feet set. Flaps 30 and flaps 40. We got our reverser's arm this time. We got our reverser's arm. Beautiful. You're down 3 green. Flaps 45 is indicated, ladies and gents. All we have left to do. Enjoy the arrival, friends. Gonna go ahead and take the aircraft. Have a feel for what she's doing. Checked. There's that stutter. Every time I cross over top of these warehouses, whatever you want to call it, I always get that stutter. Every time. And we fall off on the approach there, so let's get her back on track. Anybody know the fix for that? Let me know down in the comments.
$400. 400.
Do my best to make it good.
200.
Don't worry about the poppies.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Landed on one wheel, reverse coming out. $80 knots. Reverse restored, ladies and gents. Not bad. Not the greatest. Definitely buttery. But I can't, like, I'm having issues seeing mid-float, but good. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And that time, I didn't even pull up on the yoke. Didn't even pull up on the yoke.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
Just having a real hard time seeing the runway here. So what are we on right now? We're going to go ahead and make a left onto November 7. Go ahead, clean up the flaps. And come upstairs, strobe lights, inspection lights. We'll take all of that stuff off, and probe heats can come off. I'm not even sure what gate I'm supposed to go to. Let's just say, go to gate like 256 or something. Let's have a look here. Gate 256, no. Iberia, beautiful. Yeah, just very tough for me to see. I have a glare right now on my monitor, so it's very tough for me to see any of the runways. So, but you know what? I'll take that landing all day. This is Echo. Let's go ahead and make a right over here. Take it all day, every day. Practice makes perfect, baby. Practice makes perfect. Get our nose lights on here. Minus 90. Got a 1.01 G. But a 4-degree right side slip. And I know it touched down on the left main. That's okay. Slightly windy coming into Barcelona. And we're going somewhere over here. Never been to this part of the terminal before, by the way. This is Terminal 1. I think I see our gates right over there. Not sure if this is where the real world aircraft deboarded from. Can't really tell. And I think it's 256 if I'm not mistaken. So nose lights, taxi lights can come off. And 256, here it is. Let's get her in. Trying to butter up this spark job here. Breaker break coming on. APU bleed is on. Let's go ahead. Kill our engines. Beautiful. Probe heats are off. What do we got left to do? Hydraulic pumps coming off. Logo lights. Beacon light coming off. And fuel pumps coming off. Seatbelt lights coming off.
Deboarding requested.
Request. Good old deboarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have...
Beautiful. Let that jetty attach. I don't know how well it's going to attach. Lovely. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. This concludes the live stream. Appreciate everybody coming out to support the channel today. We will be back up in the air in the RJ tomorrow. We're flying the CRJ 900. We're flying with Scandinavian, I believe. We're flying up to Copenhagen, I think to Trondheim, and then back to Copenhagen. Should be a fun flight. Another little short flight in the regional CRJ regional jets, but we're going to get some reps in it. You know, kind of bring this aircraft back into our fleet. Kind of makes sense until we get some new aircraft like the Max. You know, other than that, I think we picked up 5 subs on the day. So thank you for that. I greatly appreciate that. We got our 10 likes. Lovely. And I'll catch y'all in the next live stream, ladies and gents. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Fashion Mella, hello. Appreciate you tuning in, but we are signing off for the evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.